Good morning. This week's devotion is Living as Children. John Paul and I have been watching and enjoying the show Superman&Lois. Most of the plots revolve around their twin sons who are freshmen in high school. Will they take after their father Superman? Will they be able to live up to his image? Will they follow in his footsteps or resent that he has to always be out saving the world? One of our lectionary passages this week is from 1 John, and it deals with our status as God's children. Listen to 1 John 3, 1 through 3. See what love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of God. And that's what we are. The reason the world does not know us is that it does not know him. Beloved, we are God's children now. What we will be has not yet been revealed. What we do know is this: when he is revealed, we will be like him, for we see him as he is. And all who have this hope in him purify themselves, just as he is pure. Now, this status as God's children is both a blessing and a challenge. It is a great blessing and an honor that God loves us enough to call us children. It was that great love that caused God to come down in Jesus Christ to save us. No one has ever or will ever love you as much as God does. No one, not even our parents, will sacrifice as much for us as Jesus did. So what does it mean for us that we are God's children? How do we live it out? Now we, like Superman's sons, Jonathan and Jordan, we need to decide if we are going to follow in our Father's footsteps. We don't have Jesus's powers, but we are still called to follow. Also, like in Superman, the world doesn't know who or whose we are. Our secular culture doesn't recognize us because it doesn't recognize Jesus. Our Christian journey may be closer to those first disciples and the early church than we are to the church that was in the 1950s, where everyone was expected to be Christian. Everyone was expected to believe. Being God's children doesn't wait until we get to heaven. We are God's children now. As a parent, I have always prayed that my boys will make the right choices. I prayed that they will grow into the men that God meant them to be. But part of me selfishly wants them to reflect well on us as parents. If they're good, honest, godly men, then it says something about the way they were raised and about our family. We are God's children. We should want to reflect the love and the will of God. We should want to be like our brother Jesus. We should want to follow in his footsteps. When I was little, I idolized my older brother, Mark. I wanted to be just like him. I followed him around and probably annoyed him and his friends to death. But it did help me because he was smart, so I studied hard because I wanted to be smart like him. We can think of ourselves as Jesus's little brothers and sisters. We need to follow him around. We need to do what he does, imitate Jesus. We have the confidence that it doesn't annoy Jesus. It's what he wants. He wants us to follow. This passage from 1 John promises that we will be like him, for we will see him as he is. We have hope because we are God's children. We can't just sit around and bask in that hope. Yes, we are beloved, and that feels really good. But that's not something we can keep to ourselves. As children, we also have a responsibility to act like we belong to God. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing we can do that would make God stop loving us. But God is still hoping that we will follow. God still wants us to reflect that amazing love. When I was a kid, we would sing a song at church that said, "They will know we are Christians by our love." Look at how much Jesus loved people. We are called to love like that too. Have a blessed week.